Okay, howdy, everybody. Welcome back to Module 0, Lesson 3. Of course, this is a pre-recorded lesson video for those of you that couldn't attend the AM or the PM virtual class. Hopefully, you went back and looked at Module 0, Lesson 2, um, and that you're looking through the folders to make sure that you're catching up on everything that you missed. And please look at the assignments that are due. They are, as of right now, there are two assignments due. One is the notice and wonder discussion, and the other one is draft a summary. And those are both grades. I think they're both due at midnight on Friday. I'm flexible on due dates, so if you're having trouble with them, just let me know by the question board, by emailing me. But please get those turned in. But without further ado, let's get started, right? So again, this is Module 0, Lesson 3. And again, like how we always start, here's the poem that we've been reading for this module so far. And hopefully it's slowly starting to make more sense to y'all the more that we read it. I know a lot of you don't like reading, but this poem is sort of easy. So hopefully it's not that hard of a read. And if you are having trouble having difficulty with some of the words or what's happening in the poem, I highly recommend you go back and look at those vocabulary PowerPoints that I uploaded in the previous lessons. Those would really help you with your knowledge of this poem. Okay. And I also uploaded the hard copy and the video of someone reading this poem. I I recommend you look at that and listen to the video, because I think it's very important to know how the poem is supposed to sound and be read and the tone of it. Okay. So just a little intro into the lesson. I want to ask you a little question. Which of your senses is most important to the experience of reading? So think about that question. You can pause this video, gather your thoughts, come up with an answer, and then unpause this video and come back to it. So I'll give you a couple seconds to do that. Okay, so hopefully you thought of about this question and came up with an answer for yourself. In my opinion, they are two really important senses when it comes to reading, and there are no wrong answers. If you can explain your answer, then then there's really no such thing as wrong answer to this question. Um, the two, in my opinion, the two most important is sight and hearing. Out of those two, I think hearing is the most important, because, like I said before, I think it's really important to know how the text is supposed to sound and how it's supposed to be read and the tone of it, right? I think that helps you with your understanding of it. So that's why I recommend watching the video of someone reading the poem aloud. But other than that, let's get started. And again, like always with every lesson, here are the important questions. Again, the essential question won't change throughout Module 0. It is, how do we build knowledge through reading? And hopefully, as we start getting near the end of Module 0 and we start finishing these lessons, you are getting an idea of what this question is saying, and you're slowly developing an answer to it. And the next one is the focusing question. Again, this one didn't change as well. It's the same as the last two lessons. Is, what does reading mean to the speaker in A Poem from Our Librarian, Mrs. Long? So this focusing question for lesson 3, you should slowly start getting an answer for this one, because the content framing question relates very heavily to this focusing question. So the content framing question for this lesson is, what does a deeper exploration of the speaker's relationship to reading reveal? Now, I want you to pause this video and think of a question I'm about to ask, and that is, what do you think of when you hear the word exploration? Okay, so pause this video, think about what you think of when you when you see the word exploration, and then come back. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to do that. Okay, so the content framing question for this is we're gonna be exploring, we're doing a deep dive of the speaker's relationship to reading and what it means to her. And whenever we answer this question at the end of this lesson, we should have the answer to the focusing question because they are both heavily related, right? They both deal with the aspect of reading and what it means to the speaker. And as we slowly start seeing the lesson, you're going to start seeing what that relationship means. And in my opinion, it's a very positive relationship. So let's get started. So an overview for lesson 3. We're going to be responding to a text or the poem using inference. So what inference is your ability to draw a conclusion about the text and what's happening in it by using your own evidence that you gathered and the main ideas that you found throughout the text. Okay, so again, we're going to be annotating the text and finding specific elements that we're looking for. So like I said, we're going to dig deeper. We're going to do a deep dive by focusing on specific details, elements, or events throughout the text. And the specific details we're going to be looking at for this lesson is reading and books, right? We're going to be looking throughout the text and analyzing where it mentions books, where it mentions her reading. And by doing that, you should start seeing what reading means to her and how that relationship exists. Yeah, and whenever we figure that out, you're going to figure out what the deeper meaning of the text is, right? You're going to figure out what the author wants you to know, why she wrote this poem, and then you should be able to answer the important questions like the focusing question and the content framing question. So this is an activity named the jigsaw activity. This is a pre-recorded lesson, so participation is a bit hard, but I completely get that because sometimes technology fails you and you're not able to attend the AM or the PM session, so you have to catch up in other ways. And one of those ways is by watching the pre-recorded lesson video. But yeah, that's just the one thing you're missing with these pre-recorded lesson videos is group work and being able to talk to your classmates. But I did make a way for everyone doing the pre-recorded lesson videos to be able to do this assignment. So what the jigsaw activity is you're going to divide the text and analyze your specific part of the text that you are assigned. So I divided the text into 7 different stanzas or paragraphs, right? And I assigned them to a group of students. And what their job is to analyze it by reading it and writing down any references to books or reading in that specific paragraph or stanza that I assigned to them, right? So here is what it looks like. Here's the assignment. Okay, so this is the assignment. As you can see, it's a jigsaw assignment. And here are the instructions. Again, read and analyze the stanza assigned to you. Write down any references to books you're reading. Click on the new slide. Click new slide under your assigned stanza and title the slide with your name and the assigned stanza number. So what I did, if for the people that were in the AM and PM assignment, I'm just going to break them off into groups and just assign a random stanza to them. But for people doing the pre-recorded lesson videos, I found a way to assign you a stanza without you being there. And if you want to do this activity, you can, or you can just look through what people have done so you start getting a grasp of what the class is doing. So if your last name begins with the letters A through E, you're going to do stanza 2. If your last name begins with the letter F through J, you're going to do stanza 3. Letter K through O, you're going to do stanza 5. Letter P through T, you're going to do stanza 6. Letter U through Z, you're going to do stanza 7. Right, and here it is. This is just an example of stanza 1. You can read through it. And what I put is the first stanza does not mention reading, but it sets up the speaker's love of images, words, music, and art. She listened late at night to the radio, and we can infer that she loves music because she is proud of her radio, right? And this is another example of stanza 4. You can read through them. And again, just click new slide under the student names, and this is your assigned stanza. If you have stanza 2, you're going to read through that and put your name up here, and then you're just going to type, right, what you think of the in your assigned stanza whenever you see any references to reading or books. Okay, so let's go back to here. So, and whenever you're done doing that analysis, I want you to think about this question. And it's, what does evidence from the text reveal about the speaker's relationship to reading? Right? So this is basically like the content framing question and the focusing question. You see, what does the evidence from the text reveal about the speaker's relationship to reading? I want you to figure out, slowly start developing a thought about what you think the speaker's relationship to reading is. Is it a positive one? Is it a negative one? Does it help her? Does it hinder her? Let's think about stuff like that, okay? Next one is a Padlet question. So this is the Padlet link, and you can do this as well. It's very easy. It's, how does the speaker's relationship to reading shape her understanding of the world? So basically, you're gonna click, and the document for and the power slide for the jigsaw assignment and the Padlet is all under the folder as well, so you can access it through that way. This is the Padlet. Just says, answer the question, how does the speaker's relationship to reading shape her understanding of the world? So how does the girl in the poem, how is her relationship to reading helping her see the world and all the stuff around her, right? So just answer that question for me. And if you're doing the pre-recorded lesson video, you can see, you should, hopefully there's a lot of stuff on this screen, and you should be able to see what your fellow classmates are saying as well. Let's present again. And next, there is a 3-2-1 response assignment. So there is another assignment. It's a very easy assignment. It's a writing assignment, and what this is going to do is going to help you quickly organize your observations and evidence into categories, right? So whatever you did on that jigsaw assignment, you should be able. This is going to help you organize your annotation. It's also on the course homepage. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 3 things the speaker associates with reading, 2 ways Mrs. Long helps the speaker with her reading, and 1 reason reading is important to the speaker. I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to demonstrate. So this is the assignment. And again, read the entire poem and complete the assignment. Click submit when done. If you can't click submit or you can't access the document, please email me or go to the question board. So you're going to click that. And it's going to take you to here. Again, the instructions are the same. So in these bulletin points, you're going to write down 3 things the speaker associates with reading, 2 ways Mrs. Long helps the speaker with her reading, and 1 reason reading is important to the speaker. So whenever you're done, you're going to click submit. And yeah, that's it. It's a very easy assignment. It is for a grade. So get that done for me. I don't know what the due date is going to be yet, but it should be due either end of this week or the start of next week, right? And again, I'm always flexible with due dates, so just let me know if you're having trouble with that at all. But again, let's go back to this, and again, get that done for me, and get the notice and wonder discussion and the draft summary assignment done. Those are very easy assignments, and it shouldn't take you that long to complete. Again, that's the end of the lesson. We're going to wrap up here, and again, there's a craft question. Like last time, this craft question is, how does writing about what I read work? So this is about annotation. How does annotating while you're reading work? And how does it help you out in the long run? Like I said in the last video, annotating while you're reading is very, very important because it gets all your ideas out, and it basically records what your observations are. So whenever you go back to the text, to a specific part, you can see everything, all your notes right there in front of you, and it makes it a lot easier to know what's happening in the text. And again, like I said, we're going to answer the content framing question. What does a deeper exploration of the speaker's relationship to reading reveal? In my opinion, I think it reveals that she absolutely loves reading. It is the one thing that one of the things that she cherishes in this world, and it helps out her relationships to people around her. It helps her see the world in a different light, and it basically guides her, if that makes sense. She's able to put herself in different worlds and dream about different stuff, right? And after this lesson and answering that content framing question, you should be able to slowly answer that focusing question. Whenever you answer that focusing question, it's time to tackle that essential question, right? So if you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, shoot me an email or go to that question board. I always respond as quickly as I possibly can. But other than that, get those assignments done. Please turn those in. They are for a grade. And I will see you next lesson. Okay? Bye.